Simon Told Helen wins a half length. Zach Benelli second.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip.
Peaky Blinders start cheering for Tommy Shelby wins the WA Sprint Championship final.
Featuring Peter O'Neill and Leia Ernest.
Monza moves up to Mermaid Manelli. Fab's Gem 3 deep. Here comes Fab's Gem.
Hard style Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen. Third Tommy Shelby.
This segment is dedicated to the discussion and promotion of greyhound racing.
Cindy's Oliver, Rockstar Patriot, Paul Stewart, back to back with Rockstar Patriot in the Galaxy.
Handsome Prince, a boulder clear. The former Tasmanian Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
And a very good morning, everyone. Leia Ernest is away for the day. She will be back next week, and we say a very good morning to you all. Wonderful weekend of greyhound racing over the weekend. We had the Anniversary Cup heat on Saturday night at Cannington. Very good program down at Mandurah on Friday. We followed that up yesterday down at Mandurah as well. And, of course, on the East Coast, there was some big racing there with the Silver Chief heats, and we also had the Dapto Megastars. This week we've got the Hobart 1000, and also we found out the last link in the line to the Phoenix with Queensland's greyhound being decided on Thursday night. But one trainer that's in form at the moment is Crystal Shinners, and her husband Steve is about to join us online because they had a wonderful weekend, and Amplified was dominant, 29.61 in the heat of the Anniversary Cup on Saturday night. We'll go in, even though drawn wider on the track, we'll go in as a short price favourite, currently quoted at $1.65. And Steve Shinners joins us online this morning. Steve, good morning.
Morning, Pete. How are you going?
Yeah, very good, thanks, mate. A wonderful weekend for you with a couple of winners here in Perth, and Electrified had no luck on the East Coast, which we'll get to at the moment. But first of all, Amplified, just the one heat of the Anniversary Cup, and she came up with her favourite box draw there on Saturday night, box number 1, where she's got an impeccable record, and she's really dominating the WA scene at the moment.
Yeah, no, she's going super, Pete. Unfortunately, when we went over the Melbourne Cup, the weather didn't play a good part for us. But, yeah, since returning, she's back to her best. And, no, she's a great little bitch and very proud of her. Can
we go back, because we haven't had time to talk to you since that Melbourne Cup heat. Can we go back to that race? Because she ran third behind Yarchi Bale, who went on, of course, we all know now, to win the Melbourne Cup. But just before her heat, there was torrential rain. The meeting was put on hold for a little while because of the lightning. How did she actually come through that?
Yeah, well, look, Pete, unfortunately, we'd already had them out of the kennels ready to go, and it was only very light rain at the time, and we thought, we're going to miss the heavy part of it. It was on its way, and there was lightning over in the distance, and obviously their policy, it didn't seem that close to me, but that's their policy, so they stopped it, and within probably 20 minutes, it absolutely downpoured, and the rain was coming sideways, and yeah, unfortunately, the meeting was called off for nearly an hour, I think it was, and yeah, then by the time we got started again, the track was waterlogged, and she unfortunately jumped all right, but slipped on the matting as she took off, and as you know, her greatest assets are early speed, and she probably would have hunted up and led and would have been obviously very difficult to beat. So it was sort of a bit of pill to swallow, but that's the way it goes. It's racing, unfortunately. But yeah, she's come out of it all right and returned to form back home again.
I had one concern last week prior to going into the Anniversary Cup. So her first run back in WA is on that heavy track. She's only small. There's a lot to ask of her, but obviously she pulled up really well for you to decide to put her in the following week at Cannington.
Yeah, look, she actually pulled up sore. We had to work on her all week, so she was kept on the lead all week. So we basically freshened her up. She flew back on the Monday night, and then basically stayed on the lead all week. So she didn't have much of a workload, obviously. So yeah, she got through it all right and ran a PB. The track was good, and obviously a little girl like that, she's better off on top of the ground. So it does take a lot out of them when it does rain, and especially here at Cannington. So and over there, the track was heavy, but she pulled up pretty good in herself. It was just a slight injury that we had to work on. So yeah, it's good to have her back.
It's remarkable. She's won over $165,000 in stake money for a greyhound that's really started to make her mark right now, and she's got some big races obviously coming up here in Perth. First of all, Saturday night, the box draw, West on Governors drawn 1, Hinto 2, Robotnik 3, Granite Song in 4, Eagle Manelli 5, Mick Flash 6, Amplified goes from 1 to 7, and Ripon Tomahawk in 8. She's currently the $1.65 favourite ahead of Hinto at $4.60 and Granite Song at $6.50. You wouldn't have any concerns would you, with her early speed to be able to get across that same field that she demolished on Saturday?
Yeah, look, I was pretty happy I actually drew inside Shane's dog because it actually has got a bit of pace. And it just depends on how hard she cuts left. As you know, she loves the fence. So, but if she can jump as good as she can, she hopefully have enough speed to burn across them. It doesn't seem to be a lot of early speed in the race, but as you know, she does have a tendency sometimes when she's drawn wide. It's frightening from behind the boxes to watch her. She just cuts hard left, and being 25 kilos, you can't take too many bumps. But look, I mean, she's definitely improving her box manners as far as beginning a bit better from out wide. So hopefully she can just stay a bit straight and burn them off, and hopefully gets around safe.
What are the plans with her now? Will she stay here in Western Australia? We've still got a little time up our sleeve before the Perth Cup, and then obviously there's the big slot race next year, the Sandgroper in April.
Yeah, well, look, we'll probably keep her racing through till then. In the meantime, we're probably going to head up. We'll probably have a couple of races leading up to Christmas over here, and then we're planning to go up to Queensland for this and take Electrified up for the Derby at the same time. So he's hopefully going to trial there this week if he's pulled up all right from his Melbourne campaign. And she'll go up there for that 600-metre race, and then probably come back here. We might target one or two small races on the way through, and then that'll probably be a swan song after the Cup and the Phoenix slot there over here, and we'll see what happens after that.
So Electrified, how did he pull up? And he's going to Queensland as well?
Yeah, I haven't actually. Hopefully, Cal Greeno, a good mate over there, is going to check him today or early tomorrow. If he pulls up all right, he'll be on the plane straight to Brisbane to trial, and then he'll come straight home from there. And so then he's had a look at the track leading up to the Derby, because it's right after Christmas, so it's a bit of a difficult time to sort of get up there to the other trial. So we've got to sort of plan ahead a bit and give him a look. And he's hopefully he's pulled up all right. That's the main thing. He didn't have any luck at all on Saturday night from a bad box, but that's racing. It
is racing. You must be wrapped, speaking of racing, destruction, what he's had to overcome and to get him back. He has got a 22.33 back 12 months ago. We know how good he is, and he was able to run down Bones McCoy there on Friday night after, I think that was his third run back from a lengthy spell.
Oh, look, that was huge, Peter. We got a bit emotional, to be truthful. It's what the dog had been through. He fractured a pelvis. Well, I've only ever heard of one dog doing it, and he never raced again. And, the vet sort of just said, look, I don't sort of like the chances, but he's such a lovely dog. We give him plenty of time and had patience with him and worked on him on the way through. And he was trialling really good leading up to racing. But as you know, when they've been off that long, to get it in the hustle and bustle and cop a few bumps, it's sort of takes it out of him. And then his last start were in Bali, and Callum said, he's pulled up sore on that leg again, and I sort of thought the worst, but got home and he had actually hurt the leg, but not the same injury, which was good. It's just got a lot of strengthening up to do, and so we worked on that, and he trialled real good. And without being overconfident, I said to the boys, you probably want to have something on him because he's drawn where he wants to be, and Bones McCoy is a great dog, but I said he's probably going every bit as good as him with a bit of luck, and they bet 8 and 10 to 1, I think. So it was a nice little fill up, as they say. But I was just so proud of the dog to get out there and show his best after what he's been through. So, and he loves the racing, so it was really satisfying.
Well done. That's great to see and great to hear. Just before we let you go, Major Sacrifice and Refine, can you give us an update on those two, please?
Yeah, Major Sacrifice is retired. He's pulled up sore with the ligaments on his wrist, unfortunately, after the Canning Show Cup. And look, it's probably not an absolute career-threatening injury, but he'd be probably off for 3 months. And at his age, we just didn't want to push him, and he's been a lovely dog. So he's got a home. He's actually in the house with us at the moment, and he's got a home with Callum's mum, actually.
Okay.
She's going to take him as well. So he's retired. And Refined, she pulled up a little sore after her last run, but she'd actually come on season. So she's in between season and milk at the moment. So she's just in light work at home. And, hopefully in the next 6 weeks she gets back on the track and, gets to show her best. And, we'll have a bit of fun.
Your team's going along really well at the moment, Steve. You and Crystal, well done. Thanks for joining us this morning. Good luck with Amplified in the Anniversary Cup final on Saturday.
No worries. Thanks, Pete.
Steve Shinners joining us on Greyhound Gossip as we continue on, and we go across to Adam Smithson, who has a busy week ahead. He's had a busy few weeks, of course, with Vice Grip across in Melbourne, who didn't have any luck at all in the recent Melbourne Cup. And Adam joins us online. Adam, good morning.
Morning, Pete. How's it going?
I'm going very well. Nice win just before we get to Vice Grip. Nice win on Saturday night by your chaser Yahoo Sirius, who's had a couple of runs back and was got a run as the reserve, and it was very, very impressive winning in 29.87 there on Saturday.
Yes, yeah, he was. He began a lot better than he had been, and I think he just needed a break after a pretty long period of consistent race. And he's full of energy, and he speared out well, and yeah.
You're just in a bad area. I'll just get you to turn for a second because you might just be in a bad area that we're struggling to get hold of you there. But it was a very good win. Vice Grip, how did he pull up after his campaign through the Melbourne Cup campaign?
Look, he pulled up really well. He didn't have a lot of luck in that final. He got into a good spot on the first bend, and he just lost his spot there, and you can't afford to do that against the best dogs. So he's pulled up well, and he's down in Tassie.
Yeah, I see he's there for the Hobart 1000. He's drawn the visitors box in box number 8. Is he already down in Tasmania, and will you head across there yourself?
Yes, yeah, he's drawn box 8, and it won't really hurt him. It'd probably help him having a bit of room there first up for quite a while in Tassie, and yeah, I'm actually leaving in about an hour to head over there and meet him there.
All right, that's good. What are the plans with him? You would have been disappointed that you didn't get a slot in the Phoenix, a race that he competed in for the Dogs WA last year.
Yeah, there's no real plans moving forward. We go through the Hobart 1000. Hopefully we can qualify and get him through to the final. But yeah, it was disappointing, but he sort of had to. The Melbourne Cup was where he had to show something to sort of push himself up the order a bit there, and he didn't get the luck. And yeah, it is what it is. You can't control any of that.
He's going to be 4 in early January. Is he a greyhound that has got much racing left in him? And the reason I asked that, obviously our Perth Cup coming up in March, and then our own slot race, the Sandgroper, in April.
Probably not. We'll see how he goes through the Hobart 1000 series, and yeah, he won't go much longer into the new year.
All right, so he's only got a few more races left. He's been a wonderful chaser, hasn't he, for you, and also the Frothies syndicate over there on the East Coast. How much has he won in stake money now?
Oh, he's won over $500,000. Like what he's done for me at the time of where I was trying to set up, it's just been amazing for him to do what he's done, and he's been rewarded with the money that he's earned and the races that he's picked up.
Yeah, he has been a wonderful chaser, and he's still got a few more races left in him, the old boy. We wish you all the best of luck in the heats of the Hobart 1000 on Thursday.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Pete.
Good on you. Adam Smithson joining us on Greyhound Gossip, and we wish them all the best of luck there across there on Thursday. A race that Western Australia's had a little bit of success with in recent years, of course, Tommy Shelby down there a couple of years ago.
Now on Greyhound Gossip, we welcome the Greyhound guru, Jason Lincoln, from Sky Racing.
She's a Pearl in full flight at the home turn. She led it by 6 on Coast Model. Richard Otter getting up on the inside. But this is greatness from a champion. She's a Pearl wins the $10 million chase.
Jason Lincoln, good morning.
Good morning, Pedro. Geez, that intro sounds better every single time I hear it, and I've got to say, Jacko loves it too. No surprise.
That's good, and we'll keep playing that. And guess what?
What?
I've got a runner in a Group 1 final, the Megastars, through yourself, of course, giving me a call the other day. And how lucky am I? I've landed on my feet. When you get a phone call after the heats of the Dapto Megastars from Jason Lincoln saying, would you like to buy into the favourite in the Group 1 coming up on Thursday, so I wasn't going to knock it back. Thank you very much to you, and also to Joe Lanuti and Punters HQ, and just explain to our listeners why you rang me, and I wasn't the only person that you rang to try and get involved, or more people involved in greyhound racing.
Yeah, look, thanks, mate. A bit humbled by that. Mate, look, we've had such a good run with She's a Pearl, or I personally have had such a good run with She's a Pearl that, I know along the way I just sort of thought, geez, everyone should experience this. And was, I guess, just after Good Odds Emerald raced sort of on Thursday night, and I was talking to my very, very good mate and somewhat mentor, Jared Daffy, in the group chat. And as we all know, Daff's been really sick at the moment. And, he's like all champions. He's battling really well, Pedro. But I don't know. I got a thought in my head that I'd like to be able to bring some people in and just share the love kind of thing, not for want of a better turn of phrase, Pedro. But, so I first approached Joe and said, is there a possibility that I could buy more of her? And it really is down to Joe and Craig. They made a portion of their share available. Mm-hmm. And also they made it available at cost price, which is amazing. As you pointed out, she's already had 3 runs for us, so they would have been well within their rights, given she's favourite for Group 1 on Thursday, to say, okay, well, the price is now X. Yeah. But they sold to me for exactly the same price. So no one's made a quid here. I've basically passed it on to yourself and a couple of other people. We'll mention those names in a moment, at the same price. And, like I said, I'm not trying to be Mother Teresa here, but we're talking about a greyhound race. But just wanted to bring some friends in, yourself, Pete, who, been really good to myself. And, to get a dog in a Group 1, I knew that the experience wouldn't be lost on you, Daff, obviously. I asked Brittany Graham, who, I don't care what sport you follow, whether it's horse racing, harness racing or greyhound racing, she is a complete and utter rock star on Sky Racing. And I thought, look, we've been great mates since she started there, Britt and I. So, again, remembering back to Albion Park and how effusively happy she was after She's a Pearl won the egg, I thought it'd be great to bring Britt in. And Britt then asked whether she could bring Jason Grimson, who's a Inter Dominion winning driver, into the dog. And look, they're the people we've been able to bring in. And the last person I brought in was a bloke called Ryan Pappenhausen, who not everyone in WA might know, Pedro, but he's an NRL superstar. Plays for Australia, plays State of Origin, and he's an unabashed greyhound racing fan. You would have seen plenty of media with him down there at the Dogs in Victoria, Pedro. So, again, he was another guy I thought they'd get a great kick out of bringing him in. So it was really just to, as I said, share the love a bit, get some more exposure to the game, importantly. And, look, hopefully we can kick off with a Group 1 winner on Thursday, Pedro.
Well, I'm already not sleeping very well because I'm excited. Can't wait for Thursday and to have a Group 1 runner. Tell us about her chances, because it was a huge run. Going back, looking at the replay of her heat second, she finished second. She's currently at $3. I'll give the market on Tab Touch. Yuko Girls drawn $4. Good Odds Emma at $3. And Coast Model, who's drawn out in box number 8 at $3.80. And Joe's got another runner in Punter's Bandit in box 6 at $8. He's had a remarkable run, Joe. I mentioned it on Saturday night on Sky Racing, did a little bit of research. He's had, since he started, 970-odd winners, and in 2022, 123 winners alone, and the year's still got a month to go, and a couple of runners in a Group 1 final on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. The guys do a super job. I guess they're pretty unique in the syndicating world here in Australia. I mean, there are plenty of people like myself, Pete, who, if you ring me and you say you've got X and you want a dog and you need a bit of a hand, then, yeah, absolutely, I can help you do that. But I'm not bringing in the sort of people that Joe is, and certainly not in those numbers, and certainly not into the quality of dogs. There are some, there's some good syndicators around Australia, don't get me wrong, but they're not buying the class of dog that Joe and Craig are.
Can she win?
Oh, absolutely. Look, getting back to that race, as you said, Yuko Girl in the red looks the main leader in the race, Pedro. I think the big plus for Good Odds Emma is the dog in the white, Forever Thankful, is very, very pacey and one of the wider runners in New South Wales. She's going to want to push probably up to box 6, box 7 after 3 or 4 strides. So she'll create a lot of room for Emma. As you said, her run in the heat was phenomenal. She almost fell, didn't she, at the post the first time. She sort of got pushed back into the right spot, but then cut out of it again. And I'll be honest with you, Pete, I stopped watching her up the back. I was sort of watching what was happening up the front end, and then coming to the turn, I saw this yellow blur slicing through the field, and Jacko got up and about, obviously. Jacko's got a little share in Emma, and as he said, she was probably the eye-catching run of the race. Pretty unlucky, wasn't she?
She certainly was. I'm excited for Thursday and looking forward to Saturday night as well, the Group 1 Silver Chief final. Wow. Unfortunately, Electrify didn't have a lot of luck, but it's a really interesting final. And Amron Boy, brilliant, $2.40 on Tab Touch. Rejuvenate was outstanding, $2.90. And Eula Bales drawn out in box number 8, the third runner in the market at $7.
Yeah. As it is each and every year, Pete, this is a stellar field. She'd be happy to take any one of them home, quite frankly. The standard was set, obviously, on the clock by Amron Boy, who emphasised what a fast greyhound he is. Look, beating dogs, he was expected to win. The time was very flash, though. But the winner, Rejuvenate, I don't think was lost on anyone, Pete. Dog having his first 500 in his life. He's gone within 2 lengths of one of the oldest city track records in the book, the Indeed one, 29.38. Not many dogs get under 50, as you know there, Pete. And for him to go 44 on debut, wowee, it's scary thinking about what he might be able to do in the future. There's a bit of pace drawn under him with Landon Bale. I think Amron Boy, he'll outpace him easy enough. Amron Dan's then drawn outside of him. So he gets every favour for mine, Rejuvenate. I think whatever beats him will win it.
And we saw the last leg I mentioned earlier on Greyhound Gossip when I introed the last leg of the puzzle for the Phoenix, which gets run on the Saturday, the 17th of December, with Tiana Bell representing Queensland. It's going to be an outside of it. A great story there. The market on Friday was Wow She's Fast at $3.30, Amron Boy $3.50. I'm not sure whether he'll firm in after that run on Saturday in the heat. And She's a Pearls at $4.80. She's getting out to a backable price at the moment.
Yeah, she just trialled at the Meadows. I haven't got the exact details of those trials, so I don't want to say it publicly without being 100% wrong, Pete. But we were very happy with how she went. Yeah. Very happy. Look, I've said this a few times now about the Phoenix. Tap Touch just put up a market betting on the boxes. You wouldn't laugh at it, because I almost think that your favourite, irrespective of what the favourite is now, is probably going to be drawn in boxes 1, 2 or 3. Just having a look at the race, Pete, a snapshot will tell you there's going to be a lot of pace. And if you've drawn 7 and 8, it's going to be very, very hard for you. In terms of, as you said, the last slot's been filled, look, certainly they've got a really nice dog, pardon me, the Sadler Group in El Dorado to take their spot. It does mean Vice Group misses out, unfortunately, but look, there'll be other really good races for him for the remainder of the year. And I guess I think the common theme post-Saturday night, Pete, from a lot of good judges was, do you reckon Peter Sadler wished he'd just waited another week, because he was the last guy to pick. No one was going to steal El Dorado for him, and now he'd be sitting there with the possibility of picking up Rejuvenate, a 29.44 winner on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's remarkable, but it's interesting, isn't it? It gets people...
Well, it's part of the intrigue, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets people talking.
That's what makes the slot races what they are, yeah.
Yeah. We've got the Hobart 1000 Vice Grips going around, drawn box number 8. You'll obviously be concentrating Thursday on the Dapto Megastars, as we all will be. But it's a series that's building, isn't it? And it's getting a lot more, in my opinion, better quality greyhounds that are heading down to Tasmania.
Well, you say it's building. I think it's the oldest Group 1 in the book, Pete. So
the quality, though, in recent years has improved. Is my point.
I think like a lot of Group 1s, Pete. And you could do this with the Perth Cup, you could do it with the Adelaide Cup, you could do it with a number of other races. I think there's always quiet years. I think in recent times, Tommy Shelby hooked on Scotch. We've seen some stars win it. Leroy Rogue won it a few years ago, and whilst he might not have the profile of some of those dogs, there were some very, very good dogs in behind him. So, yeah, it'll be a good series. I got to be honest, I was surprised they took the option to go down there with Vice Grip. I wondered whether they might pack their bags and go north for some sunnier, warmer climates up there in Brisbane, Pete. They've got the match race series, the Golden Ticket, coming up, which leads you into the Gold Bullion. So if you win the ticket, you get a free spot into the Bullion. And, geez, if there's a track in Australia that'd suit Vice Grip, it has to be Albion Park. So, look, I'm sure he'll run well in Hobart, because that's what he does. He runs well. But I just wonder whether he's got the point-to-point speed to be competitive with some of them real speedsters.
Well, Adam Smithson, who was on just before you, he said that there's only a couple more runs left in Vice Grip. He turns 4 in early January, so maybe this might be his swan song, and what better way to go out than to win another Group 1.
I can't imagine the connections would need to see him go around too many more times. I couldn't think that they'd be any prouder of the dog, that's for sure, Pete.
That's definitely right. Looking forward to Thursday. Can't wait. The Group 1 Megastars at Dapto. Good odds, Emma. Drawn box number 2. Go, you good thing.
Try and keep a lid on it, mate. But, yeah, very, very exciting. And, can't wait for Thursday night. I'll be down there trackside. I'll certainly give you a shout-out if we get the cash, mate.
Good on you. That's Jason Lincoln joining us on Greyhound Gossip. Later on today, we have Greyhound Racing coming in from Cannington. The first of 12 races gets underway at 6:09. And if you're thinking of heading down there, try the chef special. He's done some remarkable, he and her. There's a couple of chefs on track at Cannington, but they've done a remarkable job. The pasta that they've been putting out recently, they've just changed the menu. It's well worth trying. So head down to Cannington and you certainly will enjoy a wonderful night out. We'll take a break. Back with Race Day after this.